week 29 of the $100,000 stock challenge. And man, today we're going to be talking about covered calls. I'm going to be explaining what a covered call is and how you can make passive income trading covered calls, right? But before I dive into that video, man, do me a few favors. One, make sure the like button. Two, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And three, share this video with a friend if you find it helpful. Also, a disclaimer alert, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy in the stock market trying to make money and share my findings and learning with you guys so we can all get better by 1% each and every day, man. So with that being said, I'm just gonna, I got my notes right here today, man. Just because it could get a little tricky trying to explain this, and I'm trying to, keep it in the lamest terms as possible so I don't confuse you guys, right? So when it comes to covered calls, let's say you can buy basically a covered call, say you can buy 100 shares of my stock, right, at X price and at X date, right? So with that being said, covered calls work best when you own shares of a company that you want to own forever, right? Key things here, right? One, you have to own 100 shares of this, right? Two, this has to be a quality company that you don't mind owning for forever. Why? Because you need momentum of a company that's going to continue to grow, right? You want a nice growth company that has potential to continue to climb. Those are the two key factors when doing these covered calls, right? So when you buy 100 shares, so I'm gonna use SoFi example, right? So if I buy 100 shares of SoFi, right? Two things happen, right? One, you now have 100 shares of SoFi, of course, right? Obviously. Number two, now you have the ability to do a cover call against these shares, right? Because now I own 100 shares of SoFi, right? So I'm gonna open up my Robinhood right here, right? So I have 100 shares. I have SoFi pulled up. As you can see, I have 100 shares of SoFi right here, right? Coach, when I say coach, Chris Sain recommend before you start doing covered calls that you own 125 shares, right? So I'm not there yet. I'm gonna follow coach rules, and build out 125. Even though you're eligible to do this with 100 shares, I'm just gonna follow the expert. The reason why I consider coach an expert because he's been doing this for years. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, he don't miss, right? So I'm gonna stick to his rules and build out 125 shares before I do it. But I got SoFi pulled up here. As you can see, I got $2,600 in market value, and I'm up almost $700 on SoFi overall, man. But that's not what this video is about. So I'm gonna hit trade. I'm gonna hit trade options, right? And as you can see right here, it's pulled up covered calls. When you usually click on it, it brings you to the closest expiration date as possible, right? But I always like to go out a few weeks. Let's say October 10th, right? Let's go out 5 or 6 weeks right here, right? So meaning if I select this, right, and I hit sell, I'm now going to sell. Remember, you need to have 100 shares of this, right? I'm now going to sell my SoFi stock for a premium of $171.96. I'm going to get that today, right? So I'm gonna get my shares, right? I'm gonna still have my shares temporarily. I'm gonna have my profits as well. And I'm technically going to get my $171.96 of SoFi, right? I collect that today, right? But let's say you don't want to actually sell this on, let's say you buy, right, and October 10th is approaching very rapidly, right? And you say, man, you know what? I don't want to actually sell my shares of SoFi, right? I think the stock is going to keep going up. I don't want to share it, right? So you can roll the expiration date out, and you can change the strike price out, right? So it's out of the money again, right? Just like this, right? SoFi right now, SoFi currently is at, $26.01, right? And that option price that we had was October 10th at $27, right? So meaning it's approaching that, but SoFi is growing, right? SoFi is at $26.80, right? You like, man, I don't want to sell it, right? You will roll that over, right? And pick a later strike price, right? So let's say you're at October, you want to go into, November, right? You would continue to do it, right? And continue to roll over. And now, guess what? You would continue to collect the premium on that one as well. So now you already collect $172. So now once you roll it over again, you would collect the $297.96, right? Now I know what you guys saying. Man, that sounds a little too good to be true. Remember, you're buying it back at a higher price because it's closest to the expiration date. So even though you just made $171 profit off of that, right? You will have to rebuy it back. So let's say if you made $171, hypothetically speaking, for these numbers, instead of the full $171, let's just say you made $72 off of that because you had to take the extra $100 to buy it back at a higher price. If that makes any sense. Comment down below if that making any sense with this video. But continually, what I'm saying is you will continue to repeat this process over and over and over again and continue to collect the premium. Yes, it's not a lot, right? Yes, depends. The more shares you own of it, the more money you will make, right? So meaning if I own, let's say it was at $172 and you had, 300 shares of SoFi and you did 3 contracts. Now every contract you'll be making $516 and you will keep rinsing and repeating from there, right? Also, the cons of this, right? The cons, because there's always good and there's always bad. The cons of rolling over these covered calls is that your stock grows too fast versus the contract, right? So meaning, all right, you're buying it, right? You're buying it because technically when you're buying these contracts, and you're doing these covered calls, it's like your stock is frozen, right? In a summary, reality, right? That it's kind of frozen. You should look at it like that, right? So, meaning if you bought SoFi at $26, by the time your contract comes about, it's at $29 already, right? That means you're buying at a higher price. You want a growth stock, but you don't want to grow too fast that has super volatility. Granted, you could do it that way, but you will put it out way farther than a couple of weeks, right? You'll put it out by a couple of months at that time. That means every few months you will make money instead of every few weeks you will make money, right? So you got to understand the volatility of the stock that you do. So example, we know SoFi, it doesn't move that fast, but it moves, right? So I would do cover calls based at a few weeks at a time, right? But if I was doing a stock like Tesla at a time that, it goes up and down like a roller coaster. Is in my opinion, I'm not gonna say it's super volatility, but it's volatile, right? So you want to do Tesla on a month-to-month basis or, a few months at a time. Actually, to be honest with you, that's bad advice. I would not do Tesla because I do not want to own Tesla forever, if that makes any sense. But yeah, man, let me know, comment down below if this made any sense at all. Or you like, Shug, man, that went clean over my head. I need you to do a part 2 on running back, man. I don't mind doing it as well. But that's it for this video, man. Make sure that like button, hit that subscribe button. See you guys next week. Peace.